of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please make sure that your cell phones are either on silent or turned off. Okay, seeing that we have no public forum, Mr. Vanderman, if you would
Great.
introduce Mr. Taylor.
Yes, I'd like to bring Mr. Taylor up. Mr. Taylor has a presentation, just end of the year status update on where we are at the elementary school. So, Mr. Taylor?
Thank you so much. I don't have any kids with me tonight. I did bring some work, but I didn't bring any kids because it's not quite the same. But thank you so much. I just wanted to give you a quick kind of an overview of how our year has been going. We've still got quite a bit of a year to go. We're right in the middle of New York State assessments right now. Tomorrow will be day 2 of math, so we're getting close. I shouldn't say the middle, but we're getting close to the end of it. But a quick update on where we stand as the building. So of course we're going to focus on the strategic plan, for our educational excellence, the culture, communication, and student experience. I had to share this picture with you because this is our reality right now. A little bit of our playground being shut down, and there's construction workers constantly outside. So Mrs. Nodine sent me a picture of some of her students looking out the window. And it was really cool because last week the construction workers were interacting with the kids through the window and waving back and forth. And about 30 seconds later, I got another picture from the other side of the school saying, "You should see Carly's class," waving out the window. So Carly, they were, this is a reality as we're working on this construction. Carly's class was working on the volume of the concrete, how long it was going to take to set. They were working on it, and those gentlemen were all waving to the kids, and they were interacting. It was great. They loved it. So the construction workers have been fantastic. During the state assessments, nothing. No power equipment is running, so the kids can concentrate on their assessments, and then they fire up. It's been a great experience so far for them, and they're, of course, excited about what's to come soon on that. So that's certainly where we wanted to start off with. Thinking about our mission and our vision, of course, and knowing that we're always moving forward for our district. The biggest thing in the student achievement this year is really focused on our brand new curriculums. This has been a really heavy lift. It's been a heavy lift for our teachers as we're working on it, but it was really about making sure that we're incorporating research-based practices, consistency across the building, actually more than just our building, going into the middle school as well. And of course, focus on the state standards and the science of reading. Lots of new opportunities for it. Because of that instructional alignment, we've had a lot of different pieces over the past few years as we've been implementing the science of reading, and this new curriculum has helped with that and helped the teachers to see that as we're moving up through the grade levels. The kids are really engaged. You can see some of the work and some of the rich learning experiences that they're having. And I'll touch a little bit more on that in a moment, but the conversations that kids are having around the content is just amazing. Some of the vocabulary is just so amazing. And the teachers are finding ways to incorporate other people in. So we have had a dinosaur day in 2nd grade, and the kids were actually working with intelligence, and they had a couple of different opportunities to do that. It's a great thing that we haven't had for the kids before. Certainly some challenges, of course. A lot of time. Trying to implement 2 curriculums in the same year is a very, like I said, a heavy lift. It's really, really difficult. But the teachers are taking it and taking it on and moving, really well. Our coaching support has helped a lot. We've tried to provide extra time to get them to have more support from the coaches and to be able to see, all the different components. We say 2 new curriculums. In reality, ELA is not just one little piece. There is so much incorporating with our small groups and our individual focus for that. And we've had to look a lot at pacing adjustments. So back in March, we had a great piece with some PD showing that we just can't do everything in every book. There's just so much to do for them. And so the teachers have been spending a lot of time working on that, and the coaches have been spending a lot of time to be able to adjust. But some of the indicators of success. So I was walking down the hall the other day, and I asked Mrs. Howell on the first day of ELA assessment. I'm like, "Hey, Mrs. Howell, what'd you think of the assessment today?" She's like, "The kids were working really hard. They showed it." I tell you, this new curriculum has really done a lot to help them to be ready for this assessment. The kids are really actively engaging. Like I said, they're digging deep into it really with a different type of vocabulary with the kids. So what I have for you, what you were looking at, is one of the research projects that third graders did, as they were looking into researching some of our frogs and different pieces. So all the grade levels are doing a lot of deep work as they're looking at. So that's third grade material. That's pretty great stuff that we've got on it. So it's a great thing. We are continuing, of course, our MTSS structure. All of our students, so it starts with Tier 1. It's always going to start with Tier 1. That has to be our main focus to make sure that our kids get their classroom instruction. But all kids in K-5 have the opportunity for small groups of some sort. It doesn't look like they're all going to be in a group of 3 or 4, but they're all going to have some individualized support a couple of times every single day for both ELA and for math. And we also have, of course, our special education teachers are part of that. We have regular data meetings with our teams. We have our weekly Tier 2 meetings with requests for support from teachers as we're looking at that. Monthly Tier 1, we're always trying to make sure that we're thinking about individual kids. We're looking at it, and also, every 6 weeks we have some small group or some planning time for our teachers to adjust groups. We benchmark 3 times a year. So those are the big pieces, but every 6 weeks we're still talking about it. We're making some switches to say, this would work better for this kid right now. It's working really well. Haley Bybee is fantastic in this role in supporting the teachers for that. Some of our culture and communication, I know many of you have been part of it, and some of these things we celebrated already because I've had some kids with us. But our RAMs are continuing and our Star Readers are continuing every month. Every time a kid wins a RAM or a Star Reader award, they get a token for the book vending machine. So we figured out that we are giving about 70 books out a month. So that's a lot of books that we're giving out to our kids. And it's great, and they're working really hard at it. One new thing that we put in for the RAMs starting this month, starting last week, was actually our 4th and 5th graders are part of a safety patrol. So Deputy Deniston is helping us to have a safety patrol for our 4th and 5th graders in the hallway at dismissal, so that we've got them supporting the other kids. Trying to stay on the positive side, so we're giving them a cue card of what we can say to the kids. So we're not reprimanding somebody for running. We're complimenting them as they're doing the right role. They're following our RAM's expectations. So it's really great so far. The Inventive Minds, as we brought some of those kids to celebrate in there. What a great opportunity we have with our 21st century, the 21st century grant. What a great opportunity. We have before school, we have after school, we have the Bridge for UPK. On a normal week, we can have kids from 7 a.m. to 5 at no cost for kids or for parents, from Monday through Thursday, 3:45 on Fridays because we don't have the after-school program. But what a great opportunity at no cost for our parents. We're giving them a healthy snack if they're staying. It's a great thing. We have Girls in the Run this year. It's on a Friday night. We're going to be running up at MCC on the 30th, same day as Special Olympics. So it's going to be a really long day, but it's great. We've got a lot of kids. That's a great program. Our girls have really loved that piece to it. And of course, we have our weekly classroom readers. We have our family literacy nights. Our last one's going to be coming up. Hopefully, it's not raining, but we'll be having some ice cream out in the front yard for that one. Also, of course, our Rev Theater, fantastic. We're already working on next year's calendar for it. Our field trips are coming up. We've got lots of field trips coming up. Author visits, concerts, the hovercrafts course. Although I signed up our hovercrafts, I really wanted a Friday because if we're going to interrupt days, I like to interrupt Fridays only. And it's October 10th, and that's the day of our superintendent conference. So we had to change it. So the next available date was October 31st.
Oh.
So I didn't take it. We're still working on that one. I mean, it's going to be a crazy day already. So I kind of thought maybe that would be a good day to, no, we're not going to do that one. But we've got lots of supports from our local, from the auxiliary and the Legion. Of course, Flag Day is going to be coming up in a few weeks. We're going to observe it on Friday, the 13th of June. So, some of our 5th graders also built the Mars lander as an egg drop project. And so they were working on that, understanding as part of their science, understanding what it takes to support the eggs. We didn't have a lot of eggs saved, but we had a few. We had a few as they hit that the pavement out front. And the kids really, just one more way to engage the kids as we're working on that. So, continuing, it's again that our focus on our strategic plan. And I just want to thank you for the opportunity. Okay?
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Taylor?
I was wondering, what's the Rev Theater?
Oh, merry-go-round?
Oh,
so that's the new
yeah,
name.
it's called
Got
Rev.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
regional,
but if you say merry-go-round, I don't.
This merry-go-round, yeah, this is saying it's merry-go-round.
Got it.
Yeah, so they're great,
Yeah.
UPK to 5, and I know they go up into the middle school and offer high school too, but my gosh, it's some of our favorite days, the kids love them, they're so interactive. So,
Great, anybody else? Thank you, Mr. Taylor.
yeah, thank you.
Did you see the one that said this is no ordinary book? I really liked that one.
Yes. Loved it.
I just love the handwriting.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, some smart kiddos.
bestseller.
What's that?
Or New York Times bestseller.
Yeah, I saw that one too, that was funny. All right, we're gonna move on to minutes. I would take Mrs. Dingman.
I'd like to make a motion to approve C 1 and 2.
Thank you. I have a second, please. Mrs. Kaiser. Any corrections, questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, moving on. Since there's no financial reports, could I have a motion for the consent agenda? Mrs. Decker? All?
Yes.
Okay, and a second by Mrs. Dingman. Are there any questions? There was a typo on one of the leave requests, I believe, which was corrected.
Correct.
Any other questions? Any ready?
Mrs. Kaiser,
Yes.
Mrs. Foltz,
Yes.
Mrs. Dingman,
Yes.
Mrs. Decker,
Yes.
Mr. Joyce,
Yes.
Mrs. Allen,
Yes.
and Mrs. Madigan.
Yes, thank you. Okay, moving on to F, new business.
I'll make a motion for F 1 through 3.
Thank you, Mrs. Decker. And a second, please. Mrs. Kaiser. Any questions on this group? Always exciting to have another scholarship opportunity for the kids, so thank you.
Yeah, pretty timely, right? In time for this year's graduating seniors as well, so
Perfect.
wonderful.
Any questions? All right, when you're ready.
Mrs. Decker,
Yes.
Mr. Joyce,
Yes.
Mrs. Dingman,
Yes.
Mrs. Kaiser,
Yes.
Mrs. Allen,
Yes.
Mrs. Foltz,
Yes.
and Mrs. Madigan.
Yes, thank you. Okay, I would take a motion for F4, please. Mrs. Kaiser, and a second by Mrs. Damon. Any questions or,
Just a comment.
okay,
I just wanted to thank Mr. Van Norman for his continued commitment to our district. The past 2 years, there's been hurdles, a little bit of digging out of some stuff we were in. It hasn't been perfect, but I feel like we've had a lot of positives, a lot of gains, and I'm really excited about the direction we're heading in. So thank you.
anyone else? Any questions? When you're ready.
Mrs. Foltz,
Yes.
Mrs. Allen,
No.
Mrs. Kaiser,
Yes.
Mrs. Dingman,
Wholeheartedly yes.
Mr. Joyce,
No.
Mrs. Decker,
No.
Mrs. Madigan.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna move on to H. Can I talk to this for 1 second? I'm
You
sorry,
may.
This is kind of your thing, but, if everybody has a chance to, look over the, potential next year meeting schedule, and I always say that because we take a look at it and the very first meeting is always challenging, so, we don't need to accept this tonight, but if you could please let me know if there's any conflict from you, shoot me a text. We'll see if we can get it changed. But we did try to keep in mind anybody's other obligations that might come up, other things that are on the district calendar already. So if you have something, let me know. If that July 1st, which again has always been a little challenging, let me know and we'll see what we can do to hopefully make this permanent at the next meeting on the 21st.
I just have a comment or a question, I guess.
Sure.
So in the past, we've waited for the board to change before we approved?
So, these, if there are new members on the board, we can run these dates by them, but I think it was also when we met twice a month, so it was a little bit easier, but we can wait if we wanna wait and not, I mean, you could still come back with thoughts on the 21st and we could discuss it then and wait to adopt it
This is just a
afterwards.
draft, right?
Correct,
So
yep.
we don't need to approve that. Or
Correct.
like-
We accept it, right, when,
Sorry,
sniffly.
sorry.
We typically accept it, but, we don't have to do that right now, so.
It doesn't require a vote. Yeah.
But, so if you have any conflicts, let me know, okay? Thank you, Mrs. Dingman. Okay, Mr. Van Orman, I kind of stole your thunder there in your group, so did you
Great.
have anything else?
Yeah, just a couple notes. The district budget newsletter has gone out in the mail. Folks should have received that. If they have not received that, we ask them to please contact the district office. Sometimes there's a lapse in mailing or something. They're mailed out in the bulk section, so we don't get a lot of that feedback. So if somebody is missing that as a district resident, if they would let us know that, I would appreciate that. Another quick update. Today, earlier this afternoon, we had the bid opening for phase 2 of our capital project. The bid opening was today. Unfortunately, there are several concerns that have arisen from our bid opening. Some of the pieces had good bid results. Some of them had no bid results. Because we just opened them today, we haven't been able to de-scope or dive into those, some of the pieces intimately today. But I can assuredly say that there's going to be a required shift in our plan and timeline based on the fact that we received no bids for some of this work. So we're going to have to rebid in some capacity, and it's going to require a new plan and a new timeline. Danielle and myself are meeting with King and CNS to come up with a new plan. The expectation would be to bring a plan forward at the May 21st meeting with a new timeline. The scope of work is not going to change. The timeline and the impact of that work is of question at this point. So, some of the other pieces did have a lot of bids submitted, so that's positive. It's just not all of them did. So, and they're all intertwined. So we can't award one if it's tied in with something that didn't have a bid in it. However, we will be the expectation is that we would award some work at the May 21st board meeting. So some of the successful bid things from today will be brought to you and bid on the 21st. Just not all of them, which was our original hope. So.
Thank you. Anything else?
Nothing else at this time.
Okay. Do you have any committee updates that anyone wants to share?
The policy, so, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, if you didn't receive my email with Mrs. Deviney's, winter updates, let me know. I think I sent it last week, so hopefully.
I think we all got it within, 2 or 3 hours for it to download. Thank you, Mrs. Foltz.
And
Mrs.
the
Dingman?
policy meeting is continuing. The group is meeting regularly today, in 2 weeks. And you'll have some more policies for the 21st.
Are we looking to complete this by the
No.
end of the?
No, we are not, but we're doing our best.
Okay.
We're in the 7,000s.
And the 7,000s are a lot.
Okay.
There it is.
Okay. Well, that's great. Making progress. Anybody else? Okay. All right. Did you have anything else? Okay. Then I would take a motion to move into executive for a particular personnel in a negotiations matter. Thank you, Mrs. Dingman, and a second by Mrs. Folds. Ta-da.
They picked a
20
really good
minutes.
one.
There you go.
One of the best ones.
Sign off.